He was gone, dead we thought. Kyle Crane, the hero who risked everything in Harran, who vanished into the unknown after the following, had become nothing more than a ghost in the minds of fans. But now, he's back, and not as the man we once knew. Dying Light the Beast doesn't just continue the story, it tears it open. It's been over a decade since Crane disappeared, and those years were kind. He was experimented on, tortured, infected with zombie DNA, and now what's left of him is something wild, something uncontrollable. They call him the Beast for a reason. This game isn't just Dying Light 3 in disguise. It is Dying Light 3. And it's angry. The announcement hit us like a bat to the skull. First a teaser, then a 30-minute gameplay deep dive, and finally, a new release date, September 19th, 2025. Just a few weeks later than expected, but already it's looking like the wait might be worth it. Techland calls the open world a mystery box. And from what we've seen, the dynamic weather, the mutant enemies called chimeras, the brutal melee combat, and the long-awaited return of vehicles, this is no ordinary sequel. This is something darker, something more personal. Crane is no longer just fighting zombies. He's fighting himself. His rage grows as he's hurt or attacked, unleashing a terrifying beast mode that can rip enemies to shreds with bare hands. It's emotional combat. It's chaos fueled by trauma. And fans who remember the heartbeat tension of Dying Light 1 will feel right at home. But there's controversy too. This game started out as DLC for Dying Light 2, a small idea, before a leak forced Techland's hand and transformed it into a full game. And now, those who bought Dying Light 2's Ultimate Edition get the Beast for free. A rare thank you move in today's industry, even as the Ultimate Edition itself is vanishing from storefronts. Add to that the new antagonist, the Baron, who's being whispered about across forums as one of the most evil characters the series has seen, and you've got something people are already fighting over, speculating, analyzing, arguing. The story alone is set to last 20 hours with another 30 buried in side content. That's longer, deeper, and meaner than we expected. And this time, it's not just about surviving the night, it's about surviving your past. Dying Like the Beast is haunting, brutal, mysterious, and drenched in that old Dying Light magic we missed so much. It feels like a homecoming, but one built on blood, betrayal, and the beast within. Kyle Crane didn't die. He changed. And when the game drops this September, we'll finally see what's left of the man who once saved Harran, and what happens when the hero becomes the monster.
She's just a high school girl, or at least she used to be. Before the fog came, before the red spider lilies bloomed, before the walls between life and death, memory and nightmare began to break down. Her name is Hinako Shimizu, and in Silent Hill F, she is the fragile center of a world that's falling apart in the most beautiful and terrifying way. For the first time in the series, we're leaving the haunted streets of America and heading to 1960s Japan, to a town called Ebisugaoka, a quiet place that feels more like a dream than reality, until that dream turns into something twisted. Hinako doesn't start as a fighter. She's soft-spoken, ordinary, maybe even broken in ways we don't fully understand. But when her town is consumed by darkness, when scarecrow-like creatures with twisting limbs start stalking her through shrines and alleys, she doesn't run. She faces them, alone, scared, armed with nothing but a pipe and whatever strength she can find inside. It's a new kind of Silent Hill game. Written by Ryakishi07, the mind behind Japanese horror stories that leave you chilled long after the screen goes dark. And this isn't a remake or a sequel. It's something entirely new, something raw, something deeply personal. You don't need to know Silent Hill's past to feel the weight of Hinako's story. But if you do, if you remember the hospital in SH2, the sirens in SH3, the guilt, the loss, the psychological scars, you'll feel something familiar, and maybe even more disturbing. Because this game doesn't just want to scare you, it wants to hurt in a beautiful, poetic, skin-peeling kind of way. There's a moment in the trailer, just seconds long, where Hinako smiles and her face begins to rot away. And somehow, it's more heartbreaking than horrifying. That's Silent Hill F, a world where your friends might betray you, where the monsters might be pieces of yourself, and where puzzles are built not from locks and keys, but from pain and memories. And yet, despite everything, the fog, the death, the dread, there's something so tragically human about Hinako. She's not some super soldier or fearless survivor. She's just a girl who refuses to vanish, even when the world wants to erase her. And maybe that's why her story matters. In a franchise known for its deep symbolism, twisted monsters, and psychological horror, Silent Hill F dares to be both quieter and more violent, more delicate and more grotesque. It doesn't care about your comfort, it wants your soul. And as September 25th draws near, fans, new and old, are watching, waiting, hoping this isn't just another spin-off, but a rebirth, a return to true horror. Some are still skeptical. After all, Konami has let us down before. But if this trailer is any sign, Silent Hill F isn't just a game. It's a warning, a whisper from the past, a scream from the future. And Hinako Shimizu, she's walking straight into the darkness, and she's taking us with her. There's something broken in this world, and maybe in the Traveler too. You can feel it from the moment they step into the fog of islands in the mist. Quiet, heavy, cold, with that kind of silence that only exists when time itself has stopped caring. The Traveler doesn't speak much. Maybe they've already said everything that matters in lifetimes we haven't lived yet. Maybe the only voice left is the one in their head. Or ours. But what you feel watching them move through these warped ruins and dying skies is unmistakable. This is someone haunted, someone running out of time, someone who's already seen the end and is still walking toward it anyway. There's beauty here too. Not comfort, but beauty, in the way the mist folds around the buildings, in the rusted steel of floating islands dragged across space by a thought. And then there's the hospital, where memories bleed into walls and corridors whisper with ghosts of what used to be. The Traveler's mission seems simple on paper. Save the ones doomed to die. Rewrite what's left of time. But everything about them, the way they walk, fight, hesitate, tells a different story. They've seen too much. They've burned too many bodies. And yet they know the rules. If you don't burn the orphans, they come back. They merge, they grow, and they remember. You feel it most in the fights, when that strange gun transforms mid-battle, shifting shapes like it's alive. When the Traveler slams the ground and time itself ripples. When every decision is survival, not just from monsters, but from whatever guilt, loss, or memory they left behind. Cronos doesn't feel like other horror games. It feels like a warning, like a reflection in shattered glass. There's dead space in its bones, sure, but there's something more personal here. Something Eastern European, something human. A sadness that sticks with you. Especially when the Traveler find their old log, Traveler ND 3500, and you realize they aren't just walking into danger. They're walking in someone else's footsteps, maybe even their own. And there's no guarantee they'll survive long enough to know. But still, they fight, they move, they burn. Because if they don't, the orphans merge. And when they merge, they become something worse than monsters. They become memory. And memory in Cronos is what hurts most. Fall 2025 can't come soon enough. But maybe it's not the date that matters. Maybe it's what this game already makes us feel. Fear, yes, but also wonder, curiosity, that ache of not knowing everything and not needing to. Cronos, the New Dawn, doesn't hand you answers. It dares you to earn them, just like the Traveler, just like the rest of us.